This morning, I want to talk to you directly, you Christians. And I'm going to say this just because I need to say what I need to say, because it's important. And we basically are people who are getting used all the time. Getting used for our niceties, getting used for the character we're supposed to be exuding in Christ, and what secular society has decided to label and caricature the folks who are the cross. What's hard about it is that you and me, because we've been caricatured, demeaned, and then made to feel afraid to speak, to have a voice, and to speak truth about situations, we basically have been put into a corner, and then in that corner they basically are attacking us in the corner. And so what does that leave us? Well, if we don't defend ourselves, basically you get beat down, and you get told what you're supposed to believe, what you're supposed to say, how it is supposed to act, what you're supposed to believe, and all that, right? Well, if you don't know what that and how that plays out for you and me, you got to understand the fight's at your door. And the fight is there because we've allowed it, and we have put ourselves in a situation where we are those people, where we are going to be used that way. And I'll give you an example, okay? There's a situation that I know about involving some people who I still care about, but they're part of my family. But I cannot talk about a situation, because if I do, it's going to become bad. Things will be really bad. And so I hold on to this thing inside of me, because I know that if I talk about this one thing, it's going to cause some major issues, especially with one individual, right? So I actually have to keep my mouth shut. Now, me being a Christian person, the people who are hiding a situation are nowhere near Christian. In fact, they are devout, angry atheists, and they have a chip on their shoulder about Christians. And the thing is that they use this thing that they know about me to keep me quiet, because they know that, and they'll try to say that if I talk about something, that I won't be honoring my supposed faith. Well, in the secular society, what's happening right now is we're watching the destruction of children, the malignment of Christian character, using straw man arguments, and then the church being silenced, and then people within the church actually are advocating for these things because of political advocacy, if you're not on the far reaching left. So you as a Christian, you have like really only one option, and it's going to come to you whether you like it or not, which is why I'm building what I'm building online outside of social media. And there will be a point in time where I don't use Facebook, and I'm not going to use Messenger or none of that. And I'll probably end up getting off of YouTube, because they already tried to censor titles on mine. Well, we have to learn how to fight. And if we don't learn how to fight, we're going to continue to get abused. And you will have Christians that will tell you, you shouldn't fight. And I'm going to tell you, you can tell those people to freaking kick rocks, because that fight is going to be you having the intellect, you using your intelligence, and you standing up for yourself, your faith, and what it is that you believe, because they'll stand up and fight dirty. I mean, dirty, come against you, yell at you, get in your face, and all that. And see, in the politics of it, they'll use their virtue against you in a way that's it's just terrible. So we have to learn, and if we don't learn, again, we won't be able to stand. And again, I'm not going to go into any book of the Bible. What I'm going to say to you is that you've got the Spirit of God living in you. The Spirit of God will tell you when and what to say. And you got to rely on that, but you got to get your butt in the dang Bible, and you have to read it, and you have to understand it, and you got to ask questions. The stuff that you don't know, ask questions, because if you don't ask the questions, you're going to be left as a sitting duck. So when you look at this stuff, you go to Ephesians chapter 5, verse 19. Remember that the boldness, the courage, and the strength is not coming from within you. It's coming from God. We're going to need that strength, and one from one to another, because if we don't have it, we're going to get run over. And if we get run over, believe me, we're not honoring who our Jesus Christ is.